If you click this video, you're probably going through a very bad heartbreak, or you're having issues with your partner, or you probably just don't know how to talk to girls in general. Because before, I felt so misunderstood, I was so insecure, and I was just so down bad when it came to women. I remember when I was younger, I wanted all the problems with the chicks. I wanted all the DMs. I wanted all the follows. But I didn't know that was going to lead me to the point where I wanted to take my own life. Like, it was just so bad. I was getting to the point where I got so skinny. I was like 130 pounds. I wasn't taking care of my beard. My hair was becoming less curly. I was losing hair. You know, it was just a very, very weird time. You know, one characteristic about me that I'm very thankful that I have is just being a lover boy in general. You know, I get it. The term lover boy, it's a weird acronym, a goofy acronym at that. But, you know, that describes me very well. When I was younger, like in elementary school or middle school, I would for real buy gift cards or a teddy bear for a girl. And what would I get in return? All she would do was just laugh at me. But I didn't know women at that time. So these crushes were always one-sided, and I just got so used to it. You know, I was so used to that girl not liking me back. I was so used to that girl not following me back. I was so used to all the girls calling me weird, until one day it all changed. So for the ones that clicked this video, you're probably wondering, how did I get to that point where all the girls was onto me? You know, I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of like it was an overnight thing. So my dad, he would always shave my hair, and I never had my hair growed out. Matter of fact, I didn't even know I had curly hair until like my junior year of high school. Junior year of high school. I didn't have nice clothes. Honestly, I didn't know how to dress. I remember my dress game was so bad. My friends would give me their shoes and their clothes for free because I was just so down bad. But, you know, the one thing that kept me around for who I was basketball. You know, I was on the varsity team. People treat you like you're in High School Musical when you're on the basketball team. So then around that time, I just decided to grow out my hair. And then when I did that, I decided to start dressing better. And I don't know where all the girls started following me. All the girls were going up to me in the hallway. All the girls were asking for my phone number. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really know what to do with all this attention. It was kind of overwhelming. I went from getting 0 girls, all their crushes would be one-sided. I was giving gifts to girls, I was getting nothing in return. And now it was the exact opposite. It was one-sided on their side, and I was giving nothing in return. Yeah, I guess you could say it was like revenge, but honestly, I just didn't know what to do. Okay, so back to the purpose of this video. So all the girls, all the DMs, all the follows, the glow up, it wasn't enough for the girl I really wanted. And the girl I really wanted, we're gonna call her girl number 1. And this is gonna sound weird, but I liked girl number 1 so much. I wouldn't follow her around the hallways, but I would kind of know what time and when and where she would be in school, because that's how much of a crush I had on her. You know, I would kind of make sure we would cross paths eventually, if that makes sense. You know, I'm not a stalker, but you feel me? It was one of those type of crushes. But the bad characteristics as a lover boy, you know, if somebody tells you about the girl you like, that she's going or she's doing like multiple stuff with multiple dudes, it kind of just goes out one ear through the other. It's kind of like you don't care about it. You look past that. And that's how I was with girl number 1. I'm not saying girl number 1 was out here doing everything, but you know, I heard a couple things here and there. And you know, growing up, you have to learn with experience that everything is not what it seems like. You're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be let down. So this was during COVID year. We didn't have to really go to school. We could just go online and, you know, just fuck off. But I remember I called her one day because we would have conversations here and there on Snapchat. You know, send each other music. It was like little friendly conversations. I ended up calling her and telling her, I'm in love with you. You know, I don't know how you want to take it. I hope you take it well. But yes, I am in love with you. It's been like this for a little bit. And she just laughed at me. She just laughed in my face. And I think she hung up right after that. And this left me down a dark spiral. That's when I became insecure again. That's when I started overthinking again. That's when I stopped knowing how to talk to women again. All because the girl I really wanted, I was let down. So 6 months go by and it's prom day. You know, me and my homeboys, we looking good, we flicked up, we finna get all the girls at prom, we finna go to the after parties, we finna do all of the above. And then I see girl number 1 at prom in a red dress. So you know what that means. That means she wanted to be seen. And she got seen by me. I ain't gonna lie, she got seen. She looked good. She still looked good, and yeah. And me and girl number 1, we were just eyeing each other the whole prom. And I kind of regret not saying anything to her at prom. That was probably one of my biggest regrets of my life. And then during prom, my homeboys literally ran to me. Oh, Nate, she dancing on another dude, bro. She dancing on another dude. I'm like, damn. I'm gonna be honest, I was heartbroken. So you know what I did? On my Snapchat private story, I posted another girl, you know, kind of hoping to make her jealous. So after prom, me and my homeboys, we booked a hotel. You know, we didn't really do nothing. All we did was just smoke, freestyle in the car. That's all we did. And we ate Waffle House. You know, I gotta bring up Waffle House. Waffle House is amazing. But I woke up the next morning and I get a text from girl number one. And I opened it and it was unsent. And I texted back, I'm like, we're grown. Say what you have to say. And she texted back, oh, you have a girl, never mind. You know, I told you I wanted you. But why is that an issue now? And she said, oh, it's nothing. I just wanted to say you look good. I thought you looked very good at prom. I haven't seen you in a long time. And I regret laughing in your face. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited. I'm like, oh, I got the girl. I got her right where I wanted. She fell for the trick. Yeah, so we started texting. We started FaceTiming. I guess you could say we're in like the beginning stages of like a talking stage. And then one day she just ghosted me. And this where the downward spiral really began. I remember I like double texted her and said, is something wrong? Did I do something? Did I say something? And she said, no, I've been busy. Bro, we are in high school. I could be busy. Why are you busy? Like, let's be honest. What do girls really do? Other than maybe work a job, scroll through TikTok, scroll through Instagram, do they makeup? Like, what do they do for real? Especially during COVID. So at this point, I'm more mature with women. So I know not to get my hopes up as much as I did before. So then I just had to take that on the chin and move on. So about a few months later, you know, I'm still working out in basketball. I'm going to college to play basketball. So I go to my local rec center. I'm doing my drills, you know, trying to be the next Kobe Bryant, be the next LeBron James. And bro, she pulled up with her boy best friend. For some reason, they decided to go to my goal. And they started shooting on it, giggling, playing one-on-one while I was shooting on my goal. Well, obviously it's not my goal, it's the rec center's goal. And I'm gonna be honest, this hurt me very bad. And I just sat down, scrolling through my phone. I was just scrolling through the weather app because I was just in distraught. I was very disappointed that the girl I really want, she just giggling, laughing, playing one-on-one with her boy best friend. So I just got up and left. And guess what? About a month or two later, they started dating. I know I said it before, but this is where my heart started to become empty. I started to link with multiple women, leading girls on, just having multiple relationships at the same time, taking my anger out on other people that didn't deserve the anger to be put on. I remember I met this one girl in my college class. She was so beautiful, slim, thick, and you know, that don't matter. But she was just so beautiful. She was so good to me. I remember she would help me clean up my room. She would buy me candles. She would just do everything husband and wife would do. And I remember I slowly started ghosting her without even realizing it, because I was so used to doing it with everybody else. And I remember I apologized to her saying, I'm sorry for, you know, not showing you enough attention, slowly texting you, you know, you don't deserve that. And she said, I understand, but the same feelings I had for you before, they are not there no more. I hurt another girl because I was following my heart. I was so angry. I was still in love with a girl who showed me no attention and took out my anger on her when she did not deserve that. So months later, I go back home. You know, I'm still seeing a lot of girls, texting a lot of girls, trying to numb the pain that I caused on myself. And that's when I met my ex. You know, I thought my ex was the answer to everything. She looked so innocent, so beautiful. You know, I thought she was the answer to all my problems. So yes, I was still in pain from girl number one. And I thought my ex was the answer. But what I was doing was following my heart. I was trying to fill a void in my heart from girl number one. I was trying to fill a void in my heart from what I did to somebody else. So basically what I'm saying is, you should never follow your heart. Because this is where I began to want to take my life. You know, after I met my ex, you know, we dated, but I didn't know who she really was. I found out she was texting my teammates behind my back, texting other dudes. I remember in her phone, I saw that she had like 80 dudes and her close friends without me knowing. And at this moment, I became so insecure. This is where I became skinny. This is when I wasn't taking care of my beard, my hair. My beard was chappy. I was 130 pounds. I remember I really wanted to take my life in this moment because, you know, it's like I lost my manhood, and without your manhood, what are you? So as the wise person I thought I was, I blocked her on everything. But that didn't stop her. I was getting calls on no caller ID. She was stalking me in front of my house, knocking on my door when I'm not home, having her friends pull up, do the same thing. And it just made everything worse. I remember she would call me on no caller ID so many times, I would fold. And then we would have a decent conversation. At the end of the conversation, you know what she would say? Oh, do you know this guy? And she would say another dude's name. I'm like, no, who is that? She's like, okay, because I'm finna go on a date with him, bye. And this made me so angry, bro. This made me so angry. It made me want to go out for revenge. So you know what I did? I was talking to multiple girls, seeing multiple girls, just so I can prove something to myself. Prove I'm still the man. Prove I still got it. Prove I wasn't the issue. And all that did was just leave me more empty than ever. I didn't get girl number one. I heard another girl because I was feeling pain from girl number one. And I was finna end my own life because I thought this girl was the answer. Basically what I'm trying to say is don't follow your heart. Don't follow your desires. Because look where that got me. It got me skinny. It got me wanting to take my own life. You know, my life was just falling apart. I don't know what it is, but like, I think there's like a certain frequency when it comes to a breakup or just getting cheated on, that it just makes everything else worse in your life. And don't ever get your hopes up, because all that's going to do is create a false reality with that other person. You're going to think so highly of them, but in reality, they're probably a terrible person. You know, I'm not saying any of these women are terrible people, but what I'm saying is, don't create false realities. Don't follow your heart. Don't follow this lust. Don't follow this new generation of love, because all that's going to do is just ruin your life. So basically what I'm trying to say is upgrade yourself so much that you don't have to rely on women. You don't have to rely on desires. You don't have to rely on lust just to feel something. Don't chase filling up your heart just to lose your soul.